This is Michael Sulfur, and you're listening to the Bigfoot Club podcast.
Hey guys, please go to our website at www.bigfootclubpodcast.com. Check out all our merch and all our old episodes. Also, please look for our social media on Twitter, Facebook, on Instagram at Bigfoot Club, the number 1. Also, check out Matt Knapp's Bigfoot Crossroads. He is on all platforms. If you have any paranormal or Bigfoot stories, please email us at bigfootclub1@gmail.com. Hey everybody, Robert Jesse Dominguez, Bigfoot Club, Season 4, Episode 32. I'm here with Steven.
You are?
Steven, say what's up.
What's up?
How the heck are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, I guess.
Yeah?
Still getting over that lingering cough.
Someone's coughing in the background, too.
Someone's coughing in the background, too. If you hear any hissing, we have a snake.
Tom.
Just been going to work and, living life, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about you? What you been doing?
Just working like a dog.
Like a dog? Is that from I Love You, Man?
It is.
Working like a
dog.
So dumb. I'm pretty excited, man, because we have a very special guest here.
Who do we have today?
We have the honorary Matthew Reginald Bartholomew Knappers.
From Bigfoot Crossroads?
Yes.
Matthew, welcome to the club.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Why do you sound like a politician?
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We need to get out in them polls and do, poll-like things. If we just get out in the polls and do poll-like things, poll things will happen.
Okay. We're talking about stripper polls, or?
Dang.
Wow.
So is that a no?
That is a no.
That is a no.
I would never talk about stripper polls on a wholesome family show such as Bigfoot Club.
This is a wholesome family show?
This is a wholesome family show.
You're literally a wholesome family right now on air.
Right. Oh, yeah, that is true. You got a point there, Matthew. You have a point.
Matt, it's been a long time since you've been on the show.
Too long.
Too long.
I think he was, 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was before our wave of Australians.
Australian wave.
Yeah, your Australian tour.
Yeah, Australian tour.
So it was like, it's been a while. So I mean, but I've actually been on your show recently, right?
Somewhat recently somewhere. Yeah,
you and I
Between
did
there.
Yeah, yeah. We did a show last week.
Yeah, last week before, something like that.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago. Yeah, a review show, as a matter of fact.
It's a show that Steven... You didn't see that, right? No, you didn't.
I did not. You were just telling me that earlier today about what y'all did.
Sorry.
What y'all did.
And I'm not trying to take credit or anything. But I mean, we did do the review, and I would just like the record to state that that documentary has blown up.
Has it?
It's got over 500,000 views.
That's
in the first week out.
It's on YouTube, right? On YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out when I have free time.
That's done.
It's exceeded their expectation. It's broken the record for their channel and everything. It's just going crazy. And I mean, I'm not going to say it's not because
do it.
People want to see it, but I can't help but think we had a little hand in that. I'd like to think of that.
Were we the only ones who did a review on it?
We were the only ones that did a review like that.
Okay.
I mean, I saw some people in the comments leave some, comment reviews.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any articles or anything, and I certainly didn't see a special edition podcast episode dedicated to the review. Except Bigfoot Crossroads with special guest Robert Dominguez of Bigfoot Club.
A lot of plugins here. I love it.
I love it,
well,
too.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So plugged in, it's lit up like a Christmas tree.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
With the ornaments and the lights, Christmas style.
Matt, what episode was that?
44?
44?
I mean, it's its own standalone episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, I guess, 44B maybe. It's between 44 and 45, I think.
44B. I like that.
I like that you did that too.
I like that. If anybody can do that, it's you, Matthew.
Mm-hmm. Man, Matt, what's going on with you lately? How's things going with you?
It's going good. Just got through interviewing a crazy guest. He's been on some other podcasts and stuff, but he's also been on an episode of These Woods Are Haunted or whatever it's called.
Really? That's actually
on the Travel Channel.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good show.
Yeah, he had a pretty intense encounter whenever he was a kid. I don't want to give too much away, but
Right.
I got lots of editing to do. I talked to him for probably like 3 hours, I think.
Wow. Are you going to split it up in two?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know.
I love that. I don't know yet.
Man, I can't wait to hear that one because
I can't wait to hear it. Again,
You lived it.
all 3 hours of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to stop watching that show because
You got scared?
no, someone was getting
You were scared.
and yeah, it was me. Someone was getting intense nightmares in the middle of the night, saying there was a lady in white in their room with a bunch of blood.
Yeah, we had to.
Steven, there's no lady in white.
Well, it wasn't Steven. It was somebody else.
It was you?
Nope.
It was one of the younglings.
One of the younglings.
Yeah, it was Sebastian because he really enjoys paranormal stuff, and that's awesome. But when you're 5 years old, your imagination, there's no cap. There's no lid to stop it, to close it. So he kept having nightmares, and it made its way up to management. The complaints, and I got written up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I had to put a stop to that.
Did you have a one-on-one?
I had a monthly one-on-one of, if you're a good or a bad husband. And I was leaning towards the bad. And,
That means you probably got beat up.
I did. But it's like, I don't abuse you. I'm not an alcoholic and I don't abuse you. Yeah. But, no, we had to stop.
Allegedly, right?
Allegedly, yeah. We had to stop. And if it's Bigfoot stuff, maybe. But as soon as they mention ghosts, what? But yeah, I think we can get away with maybe aliens. I don't know. I think I'd rather not. But
yeah.
We stopped it. He gets mad about it. He's like, "Hey, I want to watch that Bigfoot, the Portlock one."
Yeah,
he wants to watch it again. I go,
the Alaskan Killer Bigfoot.
I'm like, no, I don't want to get written up again. I'm on a 90-day probation, so I need to stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So no Cocaine Bear whenever it comes out.
Yeah, they're not going to see that. I do want to watch that though.
They should have just did a Bigfoot one. Bigfoot on cocaine.
Well, this one's a true story though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I heard a story about a Bigfoot on cocaine. It's a true story.
Oh, really?
I know, but I mean, it could have happened.
I was about to say, do tell.
Maybe it's just a cover up, and maybe it was a Bigfoot, and they were just saying it was a bear.
Oh,
wow. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean,
so was Cocaine Bear like Ray Liotta's last movie?
Yeah. Well, they're saying Blackbird is one of his last scenes that he did. I don't know if you've heard of that show.
Is that a new Marvel movie?
No, it's a show on Apple Plus about. Oh man, I forgot his name. He's a serial killer. They sent in this informant in that prison.
Oh yeah, I started watching that one, but I stopped.
You saw the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are his last scenes that he did apparently.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Sad.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Love Ray Liotta.
Yeah, we're losing a lot of celebrities right now, man. It's hurting me. It's hurting me.
Do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, mental health is it's a very serious thing. And Matt, I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I was pretty taken back by that one. Pretty shocked, really.
Yeah. Jason David Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He seemed happy, but Mm-hmm. They always do, don't they?
He was at Titan Comics here in DFW. Probably what, 3 months ago?
3 months ago. He's been to every Titan, everywhere that they moved to. He's been in every one.
And like we were supposed to go see him, but we got caught up. We got scheduled to do something, or we were going to a birthday party or something.
Yeah. Oh Lord!
Didn't New Day do a tribute to him or something? With
they did.
Costumes?
They did with the costumes, and thought that was kind of cool.
Their gear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kofi did. Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I think he was dressed up as a Green Ranger.
Yeah.
And then Woods was the White Ranger. Yeah. Pretty taken.
Did you watch Power Rangers whenever you were a kid?
Mm-hmm. I did. I got into it because of my cousins. My cousins were big fans, and every time I spent the night, we would watch Power Rangers, and I really didn't have a choice, but I ended up loving it.
Yeah.
So we started it from the beginning to end, and when the movie came out, we were like super excited, and McDonald's had this. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. The belt, whatever, and they would come with the coins of the different animals.
Yeah.
I thought that, yeah. So yeah, I was a big Power Rangers fan. Had the toys too, and and then when you grow up, you appreciate it. You don't watch it anymore, but I was just like, damn it, really? Tommy, really? Come on, man.
Yeah, I was pretty old whenever it got popular. Not like real old. I mean, I was
you were just older. Yeah.
Yeah, but I secretly watched it. I did. I tried not to like it, but it was enough like Voltron that it could hold my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, what was that other show though? The weird one where they're like, it was a similar type show, but they're at some old mansion, and then like Elvis's ghost was like there, or Jay Leno's ghost, somebody's ghost. It was Jay Leno's ghost dressed like Elvis, and there was like a mummy and a wolf man.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? I don't know.
What are you talking about? No, it's not League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Beetleborgs.
Oh, yeah.
The big bad Beetleborgs.
Yeah, I don't know any of that.
Oh, yes, you do. You just don't remember it.
I swear I don't.
I forgot about this.
Beetleborgs? What's up with the name?
They turned into beetle robots.
That's kind of scary.
Their whole thing was like beetle stuff. Yeah, it was weird.
Big bad Beetleborgs. Yep.
Flabber. That was the guy's name. Flabber.
Yeah. You see the.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. Like that's a super.
Jay Leno Liberace ghost guy.
I was looking up Jay Leno Elvis,
and there was a Frankenstein and
here he is. Hold on. I found a picture. It's real blurry, but
oh yeah. He looks like
Frankenstein, werewolf, and whatever the hell that Joker. Or like, here's a better picture. There you go. He looks like Jay Leno.
Wow,
he does.
Yeah,
he's like the human version of Mac Tonight or something.
Yeah. Curse of the Shadowborg. Oh my gosh,
that's horrible.
Oh my gosh, look at that. That's creepy now.
It is. It is very creepy.
Damn it, man. Why you gotta bring...
I don't remember any of that. I swear to you, I do not. I think I was out I think I was out drinking then.
Here's a typical like answer from that you get now. You didn't have a childhood.
Yeah.
Well, I was already an adult when I was in that time, you dipshit.
Such anger.
No, someone told me that. It's like, oh,
you didn't have a childhood?
Yeah, I didn't have a childhood. And I was like, they were born in like 2001. So, of course.
Yeah.
You're like, bitch, I'm still living it.
I'm like, he's like, was she born in 2001? I think it was 2004. She's like, you didn't have a childhood. I go, well, I was already
an adult.
I was already an adult that time. So
I was adulting.
So you're
I was paying
dumb.
bills. I was paying bills.
Dipshit.
You're dumb.
Yeah.
I did want to mention Linda Godfrey passed away recently. She passed away on November the 27th.
I did see that, yeah.
And I've actually read 2 of her books. But she's mostly like she did the Beast of Bray Road. That's the one that kind of made her take off. Matt.
Yeah, she put Beast of Bray Road on the map, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I would say she put Dogman on the map.
Yep, she did.
Wow.
She was for the Dogman community what Bobby Short was for the Bigfoot community.
Mm-hmm. And she was supposed to come to the first annual Bigfoot conference, but something happened with her flight, and she didn't make it. So, we were supposed to. I think it was her, and it was somebody else that didn't show. But
Lauren Coleman.
No, he was there.
Oh.
His alter ego, Corin Lohman.
Corin Lohman.
Corin Lohman.
But
attorney at law.
But she wrote like American Monsters. I read that one. That one's actually pretty good. Monster Among Us, the Michigan Dogman. She wrote a ton of books, and I had heard the rumor that she was sick earlier this year, and I know she was on my list to get her to come on the show, and I had heard she was sick, and someone had posted somewhere in one of the groups because I'm sure Matt, you're the same way. We are part of a bunch of Facebook Dogman Bigfoot groups.
Oh yeah.
And somebody had posted somewhere on a Dogman group that she was feeling ill and people wanted to pray for her and stuff like that. And it doesn't say what she passed away from, but just prayers to her family and all that stuff. So because like she's a big part of the the cryptid world and literature and research and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say that and just wanted to give her a little segment because she deserved it. She's a nice lady, and I've heard nothing but good things about her. So
definitely a sad segue into the show talking about
you guys are downers, man.
I know, man. Oh man,
Debbie Downers, yeah. So
but we're gonna change it up, and we're gonna talk about I don't know, paranormal, Bigfoot. Dig dirt.
Matt,
Bigfoot.
Matt, I always go to you about rumors in Bigfoot. What's the rumors in Bigfoot right now?
That it doesn't exist.
You're gonna say that.
Oh,
you
man.
knew it.
I wonder who.
That's the rumor.
I wonder who's been saying that.
Yeah.
Just a general community who don't. I'll answer that for you, Matt. It's just a general community that don't believe in Bigfoot, and that that's okay. That's fine. It's all good. It's all good and gravy.
Well, according to the BFRO, November 1st.
The BFRO?
The BFRO. The BFRO. November 1st, recent reports. October 22nd, California, El Dorado County, Class B. Possible sighting of a tree shaking on South Fork, American River, 30 miles northeast of Sacramento.
Huh.
That's the most recent one right now.
Get that tree a sweater.
Well, I guess it was cold.
So, a tree shaking, but it looks like they didn't see it.
So they just saw a tree shaking.
Shaken?
Yeah. Shaken.
Yeah.
Oh, it was shaken back.
Nearest town is, I'm probably going to butcher this, Coloma Lotus.
Yeah, you probably butchered it.
Sounds like a disease.
All those towns, but in fairness, all those towns up there they get really weird names up there.
Yeah.
Not as weird as
Shaking
Ucey.
Tree though, like I don't know.
I mean, could have been I don't know. It's
a really tiny earthquake.
Just that spot under the tree,
Or a really big beaver.
A very centralized earthquake. Something large climbing a small tree.
Yeah.
A bear.
A bar.
A cocaine bear.
Ooh.
A cocaine
Nice
bear.
little segue there. Cocaine Bear.
The second one is October 2022, New York, Franklin County, Class B. Possible daylight sighting of in the
Adirondacks.
There you go. Thank you.
Adirondacks.
15 miles northwest of Lake Placid. Isn't that where they had the Miracle on Ice?
Lake Placid?
Yeah.
Oh, the big crocodiles?
The big gator.
Oh, big gator.
That's where Betty White lived, in a cabin.
Yeah, that's right. Based on a true story. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Cocaine Gator.
I loved Lake Placid personally.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah.
But isn't that where they had the Miracle on Ice?
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't. You guys did sound sure.
Miracle on Ice. Yeah, sure.
Is that a hockey reference?
Yes, it is.
Is that where they had the miracle?
Yeah, the Miracle
on Ice.
The U.S. beat the Russians.
Is that where they had it at?
Yeah, Lake Placid. Yeah.
They played on Lake Placid?
I mean, where else are they going to play?
Like on the actual lake whenever it was on ice?
Yes, Steven.
Yeah.
They played on the lake.
That's a little dangerous, man. I don't know if
it's a town.
Oh, okay. All right. See, you gotta teach me these things, man.
Teach you?
Yes.
Teach you?
Yeah, Machu Picchu.
So, trying to see like the details on this. On our way to Paul Smith College, from a lab, noticed a large figure in the window by the power lines. At first, I thought it was a large man in a fur coat, because I saw its arms and legs and head and torso, but this creature was much too big to be a man, and the fur seemed to be covering his entire body. Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I would make the thing about 8 to 10 feet tall, roughly. It was the back of me. It seemed like to be very casually strolling north along the path, the power lines. You know, that's not the first time I've actually heard Bigfoot's moving on
power lines,
electrical right-of-ways, power lines. So that's actually pretty neat. I mean, to me that sounds like a real sighting report.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's not impossible. It's real. Confirmed.
They actually have like the GPS coordinates on here too. Man, they didn't used to do that, right, Matt?
No, they used to not do that.
On the GPS?
They used to not do that. They used to not give out like actual
that where the location was at.
Yeah,
it was usually just the county. Mm-hmm. It was about as far as they'd ever go.
And they would like say, like, I don't know, luckily, if you were lucky, the crossroads, Bigfoot Crossroads.
Oh, see?
I know what you're doing there.
Mm-hmm. Boom! Yeah.
That's pretty good, man.
Thanks, man. I try.
You work hard on this stuff, don't you?
I do. I do. We get paid for it, but it's okay.
This next one is in November 2022, Maryland, Garrett County, Class B. Again, big house in...
you said Maryland?
Maryland, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Maryland Panhandle near Deep Creek Lake State Park. Let's look at the details on this one.
Where is that at? Hold on. You said Deep Creek Lake?
Mm-hmm. Maryland. Is that an area where you...
I think so. Hold on.
You cover?
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom and I were sitting out on the porch, our bottom porch swing below our house while our dog was going to the bathroom. Wow, that's such details on that one. It wasn't too cold, and it was very enjoyable to sit out. We sat there for about 10 minutes, and then the dog was alerted by something, but we couldn't see it. We think it was alerted by a fox or coyotes, but making a little noise. They normally make more than, but they weren't as active. Some of the cows and dogs on the farms surrounding us were making noise, and they normally do also. We quit talking about 2 minutes, and after that, a gut bellowing howl, roar, and scream. Wow, that's actually very detailed on that one. A howl, roar, and scream. So it must have been pretty long.
That's so weird.
The sound came across the street from our house to the ridge about 15 seconds after the first sound. The same type of howl started up again, and then it was quiet, dead quiet. The fox and coyotes went silent, and the dogs and cows were normally don't. They normally don't, and they will keep on in the hours in the morning. That's pretty weird.
Wild and wacky stuff.
So I'm gonna say something here. And I never brought this up because I don't like this person. He was one of my texts that worked.
I'm right here.
No, not you, Matt.
Oh,
Jesus. I would never do that to you. At my job, one of the texts, it was whenever I was covering Pittsburgh. This is between Pittsburgh and that area. Mm-hmm. And I would always have jobs in Sangrun. And Sangrun is like right by that lake. Mm-hmm. And he would always like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
Really?
And I'm all like, why? He goes, it's just woody there. I don't like that area. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go there. I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't really think of it much. But I would always have to tell his manager, I go, man, I can't send. He goes, yeah, it's okay. Don't send him there. Send somebody else. I'm like, what the hell?
It said the nearest town to that one is Swanton.
Swinton, yeah.
Swanton?
Yeah.
Swanton?
Swanson? I used to always make fun of it because I go, the Sangrun right above it there's a town called Accident. I go, why? Did you have an accident there? He goes, nah, I just don't want to go there, man. I do not. He was real serious about it. Huh. I was like, I do not want to go there. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll send somebody else in. Jesus Christ. You live like close by there.
We should reach out to this guy.
I don't like him.
He's not telling you something.
Yeah, so I was like, why does that sound familiar? And that's why I looked it up. Yep, Sangrun. That's so weird.
Wow.
It's like right between West Virginia and Maryland, and then the Pittsburgh area. That's weird. Synchronicity, man.
Synchronicity. It's kind of weird how that.
There's something I've been thinking about. The guy, and this isn't pitching my show.
Please do.
Yeah.
But listen to Bigfoot Crossroads. Mm-hmm. But the guy, the guest that I interviewed last, the one I was talking about earlier, mm-hmm. He said something on my show, and I have not confirmed this yet. I would have to, whenever I'm editing, I'll make a note of it and check it out for myself. But he said that there's some county in Florida that in the hunting regulations for feral hogs. Now, feral hogs are considered a nuisance animal. Mm-hmm. Most states don't have a season on them. You can just go kill one anytime you want, however you want to do it.
It's open and stuff.
Yeah. And so these regulations for wild hogs in this particular county never changes. They never get updated. They're always the same. There's no reason to mess with them. Mm-hmm. And supposedly, in the section about these hogs, if you go and look at them, which nobody ever does, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is a regulation that basically states that you can't shoot or harm any anthropoid creatures, which are human-like creatures in reference to like Bigfoot.
They have the word. They have that word on there?
According to him, they do. And he said you can look it up yourself. You can do an internet search for it and find it.
We should ask Marie Dumont.
How about
Marie
that?
Yeah. Dumont.
So
I had never heard that before, though.
Huh. Interesting.
That is interesting. I didn't even know that was a word. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a $20 word right there that I never thought I would cash in.
Triple letter score.
Anthropoid.
Cash me outside.
How about that? Anthropoid.
So that's interesting. I don't think Texas has that. All right, Texas don't have that.
Probably not.
How about Oklahoma?
We have a hunting season for Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, that one guy was pushing it, right?
Yeah.
What was his name? Do you rightly recollect?
J.R. Ewing.
I like it. Man, Matt is super witty tonight. So
oh, yeah.
he's on it.
What? That's his name.
Okay.
Jim Ross, I think, was his name.
Okay.
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 Jim Ross.
Getting a little Ucey tonight.
He lost his Ucey.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll get it back. So if they have that as one of the like hidden on one of the regulations, I wonder if they have that for every state. Or a state
I don't know.
That's like heavily populated with that, or like sightings of that.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that myself.
Like it makes me want to read each state's like the hunt or regulations or something like that. That's a lot of reading, but to search that,
I'm sure somebody would have found it and brought it, posted it somewhere.
Just the word, using the word anthropoid, like if that's like something in Oklahoma or something like up north, Canada, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where most of this, I don't know. I think that's just
Canada.
interesting.
Canada's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, because Bigfoot, it's a different animal.
No, I meant like the government up there is way different from.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they have like some type of.
Their police ride horses.
I mean, what are they? They're not even called police. What are they called?
Mounties.
Mounties. That's right. I was going to say something else. I'm so glad I didn't say it. But yeah, Mounties.
So.
That's interesting though. I'm gonna have to research that.
Somebody research that and send us an email. BigfootClub1@gmail.com.
And while you're doing that, listen to an episode of Bigfoot Crossroads.
Yes, listen to Bigfoot Crossroads. Because I know we were talking on our last show. There was Christy. She's from New South Wales, and she was emailing us that she also listens to Bigfoot Crossroads.
What?
Yeah. So, and even Tony won your.
Yeah, contest. I had a fan appreciation contest, and Tony was one of 3 winners.
Nice.
Wow,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent me a picture of her wearing the Bigfoot Club shirt, holding the mug, had I think it was a sticker or a button.
It was a button.
Yeah, a button. Bigfoot Crossroads button.
She also got some stickers. It wasn't just a button. Not that cheap.
No, Matt, it was just a button.
Like, wow, thanks. A button.
Damn it, Robert.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Made me cough. That's your fault.
Well, I'm glad we have some of the same fan base, so it's kind of
we should.
Yeah,
we're all family.
Well, I mean, I know we like promote the shit out of you.
Yep.
So
Bigfoot Familia.
So
hey, I did talk to world famous UFO and paranormal reporter and Skinwalker Ranch expert George Knapp this week.
Did you really?
I did.
He posted on Coast to Coast a lot, right?
How's that for a name drop? Yeah.
Wow.
He's been on TV a bunch.
So you're going to get him on your show?
I mean, I don't know, maybe.
Come on, man.
Well, I mean, you're not really supposed to ask any farther than that.
Off the record. He stopped the recording. Off the record.
I mean, off the record, I just messaged him to ask if he had any relatives in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't really discuss anything else.
Ancestry.com. I've been wanting to do that, by the way. Oh, it's a little late, but yeah, okay.
Are they your sponsor? Are you guys sponsored by Ancestry.com?
I wish. If that's a sponsor, then yeah, hook me up. No, I don't have any sponsors. Not for Twitch yet.
Yeah. You got me.
I'm talking about like corporation, like
yeah.
Like G Fuel, like support Big Boy Jones, get G Fuel
2029.
Yeah.
I think I missed a night with you. I think I was probably like second time I've ever missed.
Mm-hmm.
I felt really bad about that.
Yeah, I didn't see Bigfoot Club in the house.
Yeah,
that's your way of letting me know that you're there. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, sweet.
But I'm there most of the time.
Oh yeah. I'm not mad at you. I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because I think at this time and I'll just say this, I'm researching the new comic that I'm writing right now. Because I know and I know Matt's read this. I don't think you have, but the last one I finished writing was the Almighty
Tanang.
No. Tanatu, and I finished that one, and so now I'm writing for my brother El Gato Negro. So I told him that I was wanting to do one on Gus, his grandfather, and so it's a story of his grandfather, how he became El Gato Negro, how he passes it on to his grandson. So I decided I was going to name it El Gato Negro Generations. So I was researching it, I think, that night, because I was trying to find, because Gus's time as a luchador and as a crime fighter is in Edinburgh, Texas, and it's based like in the late 60s, early 70s. Mm-hmm. And so I was looking up wrestling venues in Edinburgh or South Texas in the 70s. I could not find anything about it at all. I looked everywhere. I actually looked up the South Texas Museum, and I reached out to them if they had any like literature or any like pictures or like that. And they gave me this one gentleman by the name of Manuel Hinojosa. And so he is.
I know Manuel Hinojosa.
Do you really?
Yeah. I don't think it's any relation, but yeah.
Yeah, he's probably like in his 70s or his 80s. So he's part of the South Texas Sports Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And so he knows a lot about luchadors wrestling in South Texas. So I reached out to him and left him a message. He hasn't called me back, but because I want to write the story, but I want to write it in a way that
it's authentic.
It's authentic. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I want the exact like name of the venues and
Mm-hmm.
like what wrestlers were popular then. So I just wanted to do that.
So you want to like name drop,
yeah,
like in that way. Well, I mean, yeah, that's.
I mean, I'm going to write the story like regardless whether he gets back to me or not. But
you're going to have to travel there, man.
I would I might have to.
Yeah, because that's what most authors do. They go just to get a feel of the area, Yeah. And then check out the ghetto, whatever is the ghetto there.
Yeah.
If you want to do like someone being raised in that area, yeah. Looks like we're gonna have to do a road trip.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's do it right now.
In a time machine.
Or just go to a closet.
Or a hot tub.
Yeah, or a hot tub, yeah. Or a DeLorean.
Mm-hmm. Or an SUV.
Yes. No?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's what I was doing that night when I wasn't logged on to you. So.
You were working.
Yeah.
I was working too. That's fine.
So
no harm, no foul, man. Don't beat yourself up for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about all that. So
yeah, pretty excited about God of War. I cleaned my PS4.
Yes, I helped you with that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, sad.
I was going to ask you, do they have any Bigfoot games?
I just Red Dead Redemption.
But that's like go ahead, Matt.
There's Bigfoot PC games.
There is?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's like a very popular game called Bigfoot, where you hunt Bigfoot, or Bigfoot hunts you, rather. I mean, you're hunting Bigfoot, but it's hunting you at the same time.
Mm.
And they've done like spin-off games. I know there's one very similar to it where it's a Wendigo instead of a Bigfoot.
Oh, that would be creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I need to. I don't have a room in my apartment, so I can't.
That's all PC stuff.
Yeah, I need to set up my PC again. Because right now it's just it's just sitting right next to me, next to my bed.
What's the scariest game you've ever played?
PT, Silent Hills, the demo.
Yeah.
Before it got canceled.
Yeah, I didn't particularly like those translucent babies. Right? That was on Silent Hill, right?
The very first one. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. No, it was the one that came out in PS4. It was whenever me, Jabron, Abe, they spend the night, and we were playing. We ordered pizza, and we were playing it and getting scared. And you were like, "Can you stop fucking being loud?" We're like, it's a scary ass game. I don't care. Stop being loud.
I don't recall doing that.
Yeah, and then you hit me a couple times, and
I wish I did.
Oh, come on, man. But yeah, no, that's it was more realistic, and it had Norman Reedus. Remember I was telling you, like Norman Reedus was like a part of that, and Kojima and Guillermo.
What number was that? What? I know it was like.
It was considered a reboot, so it was going to be It was going to be the first.
I know, but what on the line of Silent Hill games was that one?
Probably like the 7th one, maybe.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, 6th or 7th.
I think I played the first 2, and after that I didn't play anymore.
And then so we were like, we played 1, 2, Silent Hills. But when that one came out, that one was terrifying. I think it was scarier than Amnesia. If you ask did you ever play Amnesia, Matt?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, the game is ridiculous. There's a new game that came out called Madison, and it borrowed the elements of Silent Hills, where you're in a house and you're trying to figure out, who killed your father, and you end up finding it's a demon, and that demon pops up out of nowhere. There's no set like time, like a trigger event or something like that. It will pop up right in front of the screen, and it's pretty scary. So I never played it, but I watched it. I watched a streamer play it, and I was like, "Ooh, this is scary." I think I jumped like 19 times in 1 hour.
There's a town in Pennsylvania that they made they made that game after.
Silent Hill?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Centralia?
Loud Mountains.
Centralia? I think that's the town that they had. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, Matt. That one was like a coal mining town. And,
some sort of mining town.
And like they would burn trash. And they burned it close to one of those coal mines. And it lit up all the coal mines.
Oh no!
And then it's still burning right now.
Really?
This was like in, I think, 1970 something, 1972 maybe. I can't remember. But it's still burning to this day. It's going to burn for like 100 years.
That's
weird. And it was like there was like holes opening up in people's houses and streets and like I think just one kid fell in one of the holes and I think they pulled him out. But I think there was like one death there. Oh. And like I think they have it fenced off now, and it's no one's allowed to go there.
So everybody moved out.
Yeah, they've been gone since like the 70s.
So you think that place is haunted?
I would think so because you have all that magma and coal, and because like that's like number one in like EMF stuff. I mean, because like any kind of like magma or any kind of earth placement stuff, it's going to set off a bunch of EMF. So there's probably, even if there's not haunted stuff there, they probably got whatever people died near there, probably, or like in the past, they probably
opened up,
or they're probably like drawn to it.
But when so when you think of that, because I hate to throw in the is it demonic, But when you think of that right there, if it's powerful enough to open up something, mm-hmm. it's obviously something not positive. Right. It's got to be something super negative to have all that power. And they're going to jump on that. You know who? They're going to jump on that. And so I would assume it's very, but I don't think I've never researched it if there was anything negative, like anybody researched that.
I don't think.
Well, check this out.
Matt, go ahead.
In addition to sitting on top of a roaring 1,000-degree fire, Centralia might also be haunted. Some visitors to the town have noticed that a ghostly voice haunts the streets. One witness relayed the following spooky story. We found a slag-covered hillside with steam coming out of it, and were pretty fascinated by some fossils we found. When we heard what sounded like a voice, stupid advertisement pop up, saying something inaudible from down below where we were. All three of us heard it. We figured it was someone else checking out the area, too, so we sort of ignored it. Then we heard it again a little more clearly. A few words, and it sort of sounded like, leave this place.
Wow. But check this out.
Oh, jeez.
I'm checking.
March 25th, 1947. Mine number 5 in the same town. A huge explosion shocked the earth. Killed 111 coal miners.
Oh, fuck.
So
111, 111.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
so that town is haunted. I'll just say that.
That's pretty haunted. Because you want to go there?
Go,
Matt. You want to go with us?
No.
Come on, man.
Huge haunted town? No, I don't.
Magma.
As long as we have flashlights, we'll be fine.
Like, and we get
Magma.
We can have like some granola bars and stuff. So.
Yeah. I brought the comb.
Okay, stand by me.
Yeah. I haven't found my pennies yet.
Was that what was his name? O'Connell?
Yeah, Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
Haven't found my pennies.
He was on Channel 4 News this morning.
Was he really?
Yes.
Synchronicity. The hell?
Because I was watching the weather and the road conditions.
What was he on there?
He's doing like some game show that he's promoting. So
I combed my hair today.
Yes. I did not.
I did not either.
I was trying to be part of the group. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, how did you comb your hair? Did you just
with a comb?
I know, but like, did you do it back? Did you do it sideways?
On a railroad bridge.
Oh. Oh, okay. Did you dodge
it? A reference to Stand By Me, the comb? Come on.
Did you dodge the train, Matt? I guess he didn't dodge the train. That was a bad timing, Robert.
Sorry.
Aww.
Sorry.
I could have dodged it.
Was I the only one that wanted to beat the shit out of Corey Feldman, though?
Yeah. No, I hated him, too.
No, you hated his character or just him?
Just him in general. That he was just a dick.
I hated him and every character he ever played.
Dang. I didn't like his character.
Lost Boys?
Yep.
Dang.
I'm going to rip your head off and shit.
I love Lost Boys. I love Lost Boys. And Stand By Me is possibly my favorite movie of all time.
Stand By Me is great.
But just Corey Feldman's a weirdo, man.
Yeah, he is. He's got a weird band, too.
And Goonies? You hate him in Goonies, too?
Yeah.
Damn.
And everything.
He's sticking to his guns.
Yeah, that's Matt. That's Matt for you.
Damn.
Even License to Drive.
Dang. What about his friend? What was his friend's name?
Corey Haim.
That passed away. He passed away, right?
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah, the good one. God.
The good Corey. Why couldn't you taken Feldman?
Oh, my goodness, man. We're going to have to edit that out. Hey, we're going to have to edit that out.
Yeah.
What? Like he
edited out a death wish to Corey Feldman?
No, it's just
what did he ever do for you?
I mean, he provided us entertainment and movies.
Are you the president of the Corey Feldman fan club?
I might be.
This is a scary comic.
Yeah. I just might, man. I'm just looking out for you. I don't want you getting canceled.
I'm not going to get canceled for that.
I mean, you never know. People are getting canceled for stupider shit. Yeah, I said stupider.
Stupider.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because I was like gone for like 10 minutes.
With Batchy Chachi.
Yeah. My
name is Batchy. I love to Chachi.
Mm-hmm.
My name
is that a new song?
Yeah, it is.
Oh man.
I was gonna sing it to him today, but
you know what's funny is that Blair brought, I don't know why, because it scared the crap out of me. But Ricardo, I didn't hear it, but I heard Ricardo go, "It's okay, Sebastian. It's okay, Sebastian." Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Whenever he was a baby, and I was like, "I go, Ricardo, why were you singing that? Why do you know that song?" He's like, "Oh, I because whenever you used to sing it to us when we were babies." I go, "Okay, that's great. But you're not supposed to remember that. You were babies."
They were little.
They were little, and I was freaking out. And then I asked Blair, she goes, "Oh, because I said it." He heard me say it, and he kept saying, I go, "Oh my God, you scared the crap out of me."
Yeah, we used to sing that to them all the time, Matt.
Well, just Sebastian, whatever, because he was always the crier.
Yeah, he had a hard time going to sleep, and I would carry him, or Steven would rock with him like on the rocker, and we used to sing all the time. It's okay, Sebastian.
It worked for a little bit. He'd be like, he'll stop crying, and we'll look at you, and while you're shaking him, we're not shaking him, but like rocking him. And he's just.
I can't talk crap about Corey Feldman, but you can shake a baby.
He was waiting on that. He was waiting.
Yeah.
He's like, "Ha! You found
Don't you dare slip up."
But yeah, as I was violently shaking Sebastian, I was like, "It's okay, Sebastian." He would stop crying because I was shaking him. You know.
I had a memory about a particular, I guess, apartment. And the memory was just me being carried in through the front door and like looking past this, like, you know how some apartments have that little, I don't know, ledge thing by the front door, like a little divider for the living room sometimes. But this was like sort of like a shelf. It went all the way to the ceiling. And like I remember the layout of the living room and everything. And my entire life, I remembered this place. And you know, I describe it like asking, like, you know, relatives and stuff, you know, like, where is this? Like, who lived here? And supposedly, I was describing the living room of the first apartment that I ever lived in with my mom. Now, you know, I was raised by my great grandparents.
Right.
So this was the first 6 months of my life.
Wow. Wow. Did you break any tables on that one?
I did not.
Or desk?
I did not.
Or leave you like your notepad behind?
Didn't break anything.
Wow, that is
amazing.
That is amazing. So it's like you were alert.
That's amazing. He didn't break anything.
Yeah, that too.
But I'm just saying the point is, I think sometimes babies retain memories.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was kind of freaked out. I was like, he just randomly, and then Blair wasn't here. She was at work. So I was all like freaking out. I was like looking at Ricardo, like he was like, like he was scared. I was like, Ricardo, so you remember this song when you were a baby? He's like, yeah, I remembered. I was like, okay. And then I was like, did I sing it? Like I haven't sung that in a long time.
Yeah, they were tiny.
Yeah, they were like little.
They were like we were swallowing them.
Yeah.
Speaking of creepy baby stuff, my cousin, Derek, his firstborn, his daughter, Autumn, whenever she was, she would have been like a year and a half, maybe, not even a year and a half. Like she was still sleeping in a crib and she was just starting to say a few words. And, I'd go over there and stay the night at his house sometimes. And one night, whenever I went over there, before nightfall, he told me, he was like, something kind of weird's been happening. Every night, at the same exact time, Autumn will wake up and start just laughing loudly. Like we'll hear her like just cracking up in her room. And it will go on and you'll hear her like talking and stuff. And then at the same time every night it stops and she goes back to sleep. And I'm just like, okay, well, what do you mean? Like she's just waking up. And he's like, it's just, I don't know what to think. Cause like Derek's not into the paranormal, not a believer,
right.
Not a doubter, but just like, doesn't even give it a thought. But he's like, it happens every night. It's at like 1:45 or something like that.
Did anybody pass in that house?
We don't know. We don't have any idea.
Or did they have a relative that passed?
No.
At 1:45?
So his parents' house, he lives next door to his parents. His parents' house is where he pretty much grew up. I mean, they live some other places, but for the most part, he grew up in that house. And the same neighbors always lived next door, and he bought that house from them. So, like, we don't know. The neighbors that live there didn't pass away in the house. We know that much. But anyway, so we were there, all of us in the living room playing video games. And at 1:45, Autumn starts cracking up. Now, her bedroom's just on the other side of the living room wall where the couch was, where we were sitting. It's not a real... the walls are pretty thin, we'll say. Just wood paneling walls. And like, you can hear her just like laughing hysterically. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
Now he told you this prior to you being
prior to anything. And just like he said would happen, it happened. She had been in bed since like 9:00. So she had the door to her bedroom closed every night. So we go down the hallway, and like we're standing outside of her door, and you can hear her baby talking. You know, you can't really discern any words or anything, but she's talking in her room. And we're sitting there listening, and we hear a huge like crash sound. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh God, she's fallen out of her crib.
Right.
So I throw the door open, and the light switch is right next to the door. But even before I hit the light switch, the light from the hallway goes through her doorway that's now open, and it is like lighting up the room enough where I can see in there. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to rush in and pick her up because I'm the one that's right there by the doorknob and closest to the door. Mm-hmm. And whenever I throw the door open and reach for the switch and I'm looking over, she's standing in her crib staring at the closet across the room on the other side. Mm-hmm. And it's like she's staring at the closet, and then she like turns and looks at me, turns and looks back at the closet, and then sits down in her crib. And I'm like turning on the light, and I look over at her closet, and it's like maybe about 6 inches open. So that was night 1. Night 2, it happened again. Same time and everything.
And the crash too? Like
No crash, but her cracking up, laughing, then talking to somebody. So, I mean, this is kind of stupid, but, you know, what do you do? I got a piece of paper and a pencil, and I slid it underneath the door. Mm-hmm. Now, no, nothing wrote on the paper.
Okay.
But, you know, I was going to see. But after I slid the note and the pencil under the door, you could hear her whispering. She started whispering.
The baby?
Yes. And I swear to everything, it sounded like there was somebody in that room whispering back. And we waited probably about 15 minutes after I slid the piece of paper under the door before we went in there. And whenever we opened the door and turned on the light, she was again standing in her crib, holding on to the rail. She wasn't looking at the closet door or anything this time. She was just standing there smiling real big. Now, other times, whenever I wasn't there, I can only, you know, tell those stories because I was there and that's what I witnessed. Mm-hmm. Other times, she would be completely out of her crib, which I know babies will sometimes do. I don't know how she would have gotten out of her crib without hurting herself, though. There was a couple times where there were some stuffed animals on her dresser, and she could not reach her dresser at all from the crib. It was probably a good 3 feet away from the crib. And the stuffed animals on top, even if she got out of the crib, she wasn't tall enough to reach up on top of the dresser. And the stuffed animals were all the way across the room, like they were thrown across the room. And there was also a time whenever some of her shoes that were in the closet were found laying in the middle of the floor the next morning. And I asked her who she was talking to, and she said Henry. Don't know any Henry. Don't know where she got the name Henry, but she said Henry.
Well, it definitely doesn't sound residual.
No.
No, it does not.
It sounds like something with a lot of power.
Yeah.
I want to stay good and say this is probably maybe spirit guide, maybe a distant ancestor or relative.
I don't know. I mean, she's like, you know, in her 20s now, like doesn't even remember it happening.
Yeah.
As long as
and I think it went on. Yeah, it didn't hurt her. I think it went on for like a few weeks and then just stopped. Or at least they didn't notice it anymore if it was still happening, which it might have been still happening. But like, they've had 2 sons since then. Mm-hmm. And, one of the boys has that same room and, nothing. There's never been any other stuff happening in that house. I didn't notice anything else whenever I was there. I lived there for a while and I didn't notice anything.
Is there any sensitive in your family that you know of, or a generation gap or something?
I mean, yeah, there's a direct line of them.
Okay.
But I'm not actually related to my cousin.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he's only in the family by marriage, and I don't know anything about his family.
That's odd. Yeah, it was just something that was, it'd be nice. This was happening, like, in front of us. That'd be great, but...
Yeah.
Well, you know me, I don't like stuff like that. I do not.
Yeah, but you gotta research it and figure it out and try to find out what's the cause of it. And
I just don't like when the kids are involved.
It could be that she's just so sensitive and she doesn't know it. Mm-hmm. Like I know when, and I'm gonna go back to my incident whenever I was in recovery in the ICU. Mm-hmm. Whenever I woke up and everybody told me that I had been gone for 7 minutes, I immediately thought, okay, am I going to start seeing stuff? Mm-hmm. Because I couldn't move. I couldn't hardly move. And I know you told me the story about, do you remember this?
Yeah.
Like the room that was right next to mine, it was empty, right?
Yep.
And then you were in the hospital room, visited me, and then I can't remember if you were coming or going.
It was right. I know exactly. Not you just reminded me.
Go ahead.
It was right before they were going to do the spinal tap on you.
Okay.
So I went there to go check up on Uncle Steve because he was in there, and he's like, I'm going to go with them. Do you want to go see it? And I go, no, I don't know if I want to watch that. And then I was like,
because I was still under then. I think I was still unconscious or something.
So I remember he was in there with you, but they had the curtain, but he was in there watching. And I remember walking to your room, and I remember that room next to yours on the left or the right of yours room.
Yeah.
It was empty. And they had the blanket like folded up.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
The bed was all made, right?
The bed was all made, and there was a chair right there, and I saw, and there was like an older, he might have been older. It was just a bald-headed guy in a gown sitting there. And I walked real quick, but I noticed it real quick. I go, oh, okay, he's probably just resting. And then I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah.
And then I walked back, wasn't there. I saw it clear as day.
It's like you walked past it, stopped, then walked back, then you took some steps back?
I took steps back. Like, it wasn't that like far of a walk when I noticed it.
Did you see it clearly, or did you?
I saw it clear as day, because I don't know. I was alert and I was worried. I had a lot of emotions.
Yeah,
I wasn't sleeping too, so that's another thing that I was kind of worried about. Like, was I seeing something? And I just remember seeing like just a bald-headed guy. He was looking at the bed, and he looked puzzled.
Now that you mentioned that, because I do recall, and I don't know if I told you this, Matt, also, but whenever I woke up, I was in a loop. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was in a loop, and I was hearing a lot of the same conversations, and I would fall asleep, and I would wake up, and I would hear it again. Mm-hmm. It was like, because it was on the weekend, and people were talking, like nurses and nurse practitioners were talking about what they did that weekend. Because what'd you do this weekend? And they were talking about going to the party or something like that. And then I heard it again. And then whenever they would pull the curtain open, and this would be like 3 a.m, I'd be awake. And I would see like older people walking by, like in gowns, but there was nobody with them.
And there was no like, what do you call it? The IV?
No.
See.
And I couldn't tell whether they were real or they were, because like the nurses didn't acknowledge them or nobody was walking with them, but it was a guy. And I could see he had like, he was bald-headed on top. and he had like long hair, like long side hair, like side hair from the side of his ears to his back. It was like at least like 2 inches long.
No, I didn't see long hair, but I saw like it was like the best way I could describe it. Mark Strong.
Okay.
Ball, but he has like you can see like the shade of hair that's still right there, and yeah, he was just sitting there, and
he looked perplexed.
He just looked puzzled, and he just looked like, you know, when you zone out.
Yeah,
you zone out and you stare, and you look. Everyone, when they see people zone out, they're like, "Are you okay?" So I was just like,
there was a lot of code blues in that area. There was a lot of cold blues.
And I was just thinking, I go, maybe that room was occupied before you got there, and that was a code blue, because it looked like it was like they just cleaned it. It was, the bed was made, and it bothered me. It really bothered me because I was all like,
I can't remember. I think you told me like right away, didn't you?
I didn't want to tell you at first. I think I told you like whenever you went to the other home.
Okay.
So it bothered me, and I told Steve this too. I was like, I can't. I don't know what I just saw, but I don't want it. I don't want it happening to the room next was your room. So I didn't want that. So I told him that. He goes, well, what did you see? And I told him, and he was like, there was a code blue a while ago. And I was all like, oh man, don't tell me that. So.
Yeah,
it was right before your Spinal Tap.
There was at least like 4 code blues there before I left that floor.
There was one other one too. This is whenever they took the ventilator off, and there were I think Victor was there. Victor,
my cousin,
Soda Pop's brother.
Oh yeah,
he was there, and then I think he went to go to the code blue where that person didn't make it.
There's a friend of mine that was there, Matt, and he ended up dying like what?
A month after you got out of the hospital from COVID.
He got COVID and then passed away. So
yeah, it's so yeah. That I saw that, and it really bothered me. But you know what? That night, I fell asleep, and I had a dream about Grandpa. I don't know if I told you that.
You did not.
I had a dream about Grandpa, and it was in the Dwight house in the living room. And correct me if I'm wrong. There's a couch right where you can see the hallway. A couch against the wall, and the TV was in the corner.
Yeah.
And I remember laying down, and I had a Lion King blanket. It was Simba. Do you remember if I had a Lion King?
You probably did.
And it was like a cloth one. Like it was like one of those Mexican blankets kind of in a way.
Yeah.
And I remember laying down, and my head kept going up and down, and it was because I had my head on his stomach. And he had his hand
because he was breathing.
Yeah, he was breathing. His stomach kept going up and down, and I don't know what show was on TV. I think the TV was just blurry. And I looked up and I tried to look at him, but he kept pushing my head like to not look at him. He's like, everything's gonna be okay. It was his voice. Everything's gonna be all right.
Were you little, or were you?
I was little. I felt like I was little.
Okay.
And I was like, Grandpa. He's like, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. And then I calmed down.
And you woke up.
And I woke up. And then that next day is whenever they did the Spinal Tap, and then they figured everything out.
Wow.
What it was. So I think, Grandpa was telling me like, don't stress out about it. Everything's gonna be all right. I told Steve that. Steve cried.
Wow. So, getting back to Derek's daughter, I want to say that this is probably something that was not malicious.
It doesn't sound like it,
but I know you still don't like it.
I do not like that. It bothers me. Like,
well, kids are just open to it.
I know, and that was my biggest fear with the boys. Like, it's still my biggest fear.
Yeah.
And I always ask them, like, hey, if you see anything, you can tell me.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just opens up, like, imagination, and they think that I don't want to scare them.
Right.
So, but I always let them know.
I mean, I was worried about it with the kids. Being in this house and everything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there wasn't any problems.
But I think
like one incident that was like, and then, I mean, Maddie might have experienced a couple things. I mean, a couple things might have been experienced by both of them, but it was after they were older. Just, you know, residuals type stuff. But, you know, whenever I was in the hospital, Autumn was actually part of my NDE, my near-death experience.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about it right now.
That's fine.
That's fine.
But I will say this. I do have a story, actually, that I can tell that won't bother me. I just get really emotional whenever I talk about that.
You're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, like, I went in there during the day, and, like, I remember going into the emergency room and everything. I mean, I was fine whenever I went in. I wasn't fine. I was going to the emergency room, but there was missing time because, you know, whatever happened, and then, like, I woke up a couple days later. And whenever I woke up, I was in ICU, and I stayed there for, like, 10 days. And 9 of those days I had chest tubes and everything. But there was this male nurse that had, like, one of those, I always called them puka shell necklaces. Like the little seashell necklaces.
Yeah, it's almost like some kind of spiritual thing, right? Or
yeah, kind of like a hippie spiritual new age thing. They were more popular in like the 70s, I think, but you know, people still wear them. And he was there. He was like part of the emergency room nurses or something that worked graveyard shift. He was there for some reason. My mom talked to him. He was the one that came out and like told her that, you know, hey, he's okay and everything, blah, blah, blah. And then, there was like one time whenever he came to my room and talked to me. And then I think that was the only other time. I can't remember if there was another time that my mom saw him whenever she was up there or not. But whenever I got out of ICU, they moved me to a regular room, and I spent 4 days in a regular room. And I mean, just in general, like the whole near-death experience thing was weird, you know, and just, I don't know about you, but like after I woke up, just the whole, you know, for the most part of the time that I was in there, everything was just really kind of surreal, just really weird.
Yeah.
And so there was weird stuff. I mean, like whenever I got moved to the regular room, for instance, you know, this was an older hospital, and it had like basically a light fixture on the wall above where the head of the bed was, above all the plugins for stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And this light fixture was probably, I don't know, 6 feet off the ground, you know, just on the wall.
Right.
And it had kind of like a wooden frame around it, but you couldn't see on top of it. It was too high up to see on top of it. Like, I'm 6'2", and I have to like to reach up on top of it. I had to reach my hand up over my head and feel around up there. But it was so weird, man. As soon as I went into that room, like they bring me to the room, and I you know, I'm like in a wheelchair because they cart you around in a wheelchair the whole time. And once I'm in the room, I stand up to get on my bed, but I have no recollection of any thought or anything about this. But before I got in my bed, and my grandparents were there, they saw this happen. I reached up on that light fixture above my bed, and I felt this little piece of paper, and I pulled it down, and it was a prayer about a guardian angel, something, the guardian angel's prayer. Or something. Just, it was like a little poem. It wasn't an actual prayer from the Bible or anything, but it was about guardian angels. And I don't know why I reached up there. I don't know. It was just weird. My grandma kept it. I don't know what happened to it. I've looked for it. I haven't found it or anything. But whenever I was getting out of the hospital, my mom wanted, we went back to ICU because I had spent so much time in there. We wanted to thank, the nurses that were there because, I wasn't supposed to walk out of that place, but
right.
So we went up there and, she wanted to tell that guy, thank you, that nurse that was there the night, that I went into ICU. And, we're both like, she is describing him and everything. And like, they're just like, man, we don't have any male nurses up here. We don't have anybody you're talking about. Like, they didn't have any clue who we were talking about. Now, I don't know, is it possible that they just don't know what they're talking about? I don't know. But I thought it was like very strange because there was this guy that my mom was best friends with named Mike, who had passed away from a drug overdose several years before that. But she grew up with him. And it was a very close friend of hers. And she just kept, whenever she was talking about this guy, she was like, yeah, he just really reminds me of Mike for some reason. She kept on saying that. Mm-hmm. And, it wasn't Mike. He didn't look like Mike or anything like that. But I just thought that whole experience was really weird. And the same hospital, whenever my great grandfather was there, I think it was either my great grandfather or my great grandmother. Myself and some relatives were up there, including my uncle, who's no longer with us, but the one that was the judge. Mm-hmm. And he was in one of the little family waiting room areas. And just like Steven's talking about, there is an older man sitting in there in a gown, a patient. And it was late at night, and it was just, my uncle walked into this waiting room. That old man's there. My uncle was real friendly. He was like, how are you? And he said, the man looked at me. He said, I'm good. And my uncle said, I think I'm going to get a cup of coffee. The nurse has got a coffee pot over there. Do you want some? And the guy nodded at him. And my uncle turned and walked out, and he stopped and came back to ask him, wait, do you want sugar or anything? And the guy was gone. Nobody was there. And my friend Roddy, who his mom and his sister both were nurses and worked in the hospital industry. And I asked them, and they said, stuff happens all the time. They see stuff all the time.
This is the same hospital where that nurse was supposedly taking care of? Okay.
Yeah.
How old do you think that guy was, that nurse? The one that was taking care of you?
He wasn't that old. He was probably, I would say, in his 30s.
So your mom you saw him at the same time or separately?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Was he wearing a gown?
She had seen him previously.
Okay.
Because like I said, I went in during the day, and they punctured my lung during a procedure, basically. So by the time everything was said and done with, it was now nightfall, nighttime. The night shift had come on, and now they're getting me into ICU and everything. I'm in an induced coma the whole time. I don't know about any of that.
Okay.
But, people are freaking out. Supposedly I had a 20% chance. And they, the doctors had come and told my family that. They were expecting the worst, hoping for the best. And so my mom was in there upset, and this nurse came in there, and it was just the two of them. And he was like, don't worry about it. He's going to be fine. I know what the doctor said, but everything's going to be fine. And he was just very reassuring to her and everything. And then the one time that I saw him, she was there. And, it was just like, how are you doing? I haven't seen you since you came in here. And it wasn't like a big deal or anything. Like, he wasn't the nurse on duty. It was the only time I had seen him. And like I said, I don't remember if my mom said she saw him one other time or not. I don't think she did, though. But it was all just very weird.
But your grandparents were still alive then, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And your great-grandparents were still alive too?
Yes.
Okay.
And the only other thing was, like how you were talking about seeing the people like walking by the room and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, I was in ICU. And that's not a good place to be.
No.
Mm-mm.
And there's a lot of death there. Constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I could feel it constantly. And I told my doctor, you know, I said, I have to get out of here. Like, I can't be here. And like, you know, yeah, I'm on drugs. I'm in ICU. You know, I want to get out of the hospital. But like, I swear to you, I could feel the death. I could feel the people in the room next to me dying and death there. And I was scared. I wanted it. I told them, get me out of here. I will get better if I can get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's basically what happened. Eventually, you know, they came in. You ready to get those tubes out of you? Yeah. Pulled the curtain shut, called a nurse in there, closed the door, and they just pulled the tubes out right there.
How did you feel once you went to the regular room?
Way better.
Wow.
Way better.
Yeah. It's I've seen so many I guess death and ICU moments. So when you say you feel it, yeah, you do. You feel it. You feel it creeping in. You feel it, and you don't know where it's coming from, but you know it's right there on that floor.
You know, my great grandfather, you know, that was my dad. He raised me.
Mm-hmm.
My regular hospital room, well, first off, the ICU room that I was in,
Mm-hmm.
the last time he went to the hospital, he was in the ICU room that was right next to the one I had been in.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up there to see him, and just, all those emotions and everything came flooding back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then after ICU, they moved him to a regular room, you know, in the hospital. And we were trying to get him home was the whole point.
Right.
We knew that he wasn't going to make it. You know, he was in really bad shape by the time he got to the hospital. So, you know, the main goal was to get him home and everything. But they moved him down to a regular room and everything for observation, basically to make sure that they could send him home and everything. They had put in a stent and all that. And I remember I wasn't there whenever they moved him to a regular room. And I went up there to see him for the first time after he had gotten moved to the new room. And it was the room across the hall from the room I had whenever they moved me to a regular room.
Mm.
And my grandpa didn't leave that room.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Is this hospital still open?
No.
Is it?
It has like a front part and then a separate back part. And like the hospital was in the back, and the front part was part of the hospital, but it was like separate. And I think for a long time, like even now, so like the hospital's closed down, but they still have the front part open, and it's for like, you know, basically a psych ward.
So is that hospital still standing though?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. And my stepson Kyle, whenever he was younger, it was a popular thing for the kids to go and crawl in through one of the broken windows in the old hospital and snoop around. And I kept telling him, I was like, man, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Like you couldn't pay me enough money to go in that hospital.
Wow. Well, I would say I would like to go.
Yeah.
I like to go with some gear. But
Well, if you like to trespass.
So, no, we do stuff the right way.
Trespass.
No, we get permission.
Oh, yeah. And then trespass.
Yeah, these were just,
we kill nobody.
Teenagers. Stupid teenagers.
Yeah, that's understandable. I don't think I've ever done that, though. I'm proud to say I've never done that. Hey, let's bring it to a little bit.
I've done it to houses.
Yeah, I know. You told me stories on that, but I don't think, I never did that with Jabron or anything. We were very homebodies. Like,
yeah, because I was always on y'all.
Yeah, like you're like, no, please don't do it. If you're gonna do stupid shit, do it at home. So
I mean, you guys barely skipped.
Yeah,
you skipped with that,
Yeah,
that you didn't tell me about, but
Jabron was so. Oh man, I missed that guy. He was so like, man, like I want to tell Robert, like, you think he's gonna get mad at us? I go, no, he's not gonna get mad. Why would he get mad at you? If anything, he'll get mad at me, but he'll probably tell me, well, you graduated, so I don't care.
I mean, this was after you graduated, right?
Way after we graduated, like 4 years, 3 years.
Like Matt, his friend, came up to me because. He looked like he was one of the
he's about to break down.
Yeah, he goes, I just want you to know that Steven and I were skipping. I go, when? He goes,
senior
year. I go, and they had already graduated. I go, okay, you already graduated. I don't care.
I had it planned out like to the minute. I was like, we're gonna go to Jack in the Box. And we're gonna spend a long time there eating and being fat boys and all that and having fun. And he was like, but there's a bunch of cops down the street, man. What do they stop? I go, we're going to tell them that we have first period off. That's the thing. We don't start school until second period. They're not going to be like, well, let me see your schedule. What schedule? We don't carry schedules around. So he was like, man.
Let me pull out my itinerary.
No, man. It's going to, I go, I promise you, as long as we get there before 9:05, if we walk in at 9:05, the bell will ring. Everybody's going to come out. We walk in, blend in. It's going to be fine, Jabron. I don't know, man. He was freaking out. So when we were walking from Jack in the Box, it was like 8:55. We were walking from Jack in the Box all the way to Urban High, and there was a cop car like on the Cost Plus parking lot.
Yeah.
And it was just sitting there. There's two cops in there. He's like, dude. I was like, Jabron, calm down. Drink your fucking milk and let's keep walking. So we're walking, and he's all like, he's like tripping. I go, dude, are you really gonna fucking cause a scene here? And he's like, no, man, no, let's just keep walking. I go, yeah, let's keep walking. So we keep walking, and then
was he Jerry Lewis?
He was freaking the F out, man. And the cop, they turn their car on, and then they're starting to pull out. He's like, dude, they're coming over here. I go, dude, calm down. Jabron, relax. We're gonna keep walking. And then they got on the street and they took off. He's like, oh man, that was close. I go, I told you. So as soon as we get to the school, 9:05, we open the door, we blended in. I was like, see, I told you. It's a piece of cake, man. It wasn't that bad. I was like, Jabron, I swear.
I had one rule when I was a kid. When I was doing bad stuff, I said, just don't get caught.
Yeah, and we didn't get caught.
And
he was all like, you want to do it again tomorrow? I go, no. That the way you were acting? No.
Like he told me because we were skipping. I go, I don't care.
So that day, he told his mom, and his mom got mad at him. Like, she didn't talk to him for the rest of the... I was like, why is she mad at you? He goes, man, I knew someone was going to get mad at me about this. I go, why did you even tell her? If you knew she was going to act like that, why did you tell her? But it's
I mean,
funny.
As long as you had good grades...
Yeah.
And you were passing, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean... The point is, I didn't want to go to first period because it was a stupid elective. Like, they just chose it for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do it because I'm already passing, so it's already like 98 degrees, you know what I mean?
Dumb.
But yeah, no, we skipped. And
how do we get into talking about this?
I don't know. I think we're trying to lighten up the mood. It was very...
Okay.
Skipping was stupid.
Skipping was fun.
All skipping was going and hiding somewhere and being nervous the whole time.
I was never nervous.
I skipped all the time.
I was never nervous.
Well, so did I. But I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like you didn't get to do anything fun.
True.
We used to, whenever we were at Sunset, we were close to Keith Park. And then at Keith Park, there's like some tunnels. There's like some some water tunnels, and we had a friend of ours that had already graduated, had a car, and we used to tell him, and he was working like a graveyard shift or something, and he got off like at 8 or 9 in the morning, and we had to go to the Keys Park and wait in these tunnels until like 9 o'clock until he came and picked us up. He'd pull into the parking lot.
Y'all act like y'all were running from the law. Jesus Christ.
Hiding in water tunnels. How fun.
Who does that? Hides in water tunnels.
We had like donuts and chocolate milk. So we were good.
We weren't hiding. We were in Jack in the Box just eating. That's all we were doing.
It was 1985, 86. So
dang. Did you go to Twin Peaks?
No, I didn't.
Not
I was running real hard with my British Knights on.
Nice. Nice. We weren't running.
We were doing 100 miles of running.
Yeah. No. Freaking Jabron. He was so scared. He was like, I think Robert's gonna be really mad at us, man.
I'm not.
I was like, Jabron.
I wasn't mad then. I'm not mad now.
I go, you're making a bigger deal like how it is right now than when we were actually skipping.
So.
Oh man. That's funny.
Matt, how can some of our listeners find your show?
Well, probably the best way to find me is to contact you.
I knew you could do that.
Well, that is a possibility. But let's just say like we're on vacation and we don't see it.
Yeah, vacation.
And they can't get a hold of us.
Bigfoot Club #1. That's Bigfoot Club 1 at gmail.com.
Well, Matt doesn't want to push because we push them automatically. Anyway.
Yeah,
it's on our promos. Anyway.
If you ever find yourself at a crossroads and you see a Bigfoot, just know there's
or anything. It doesn't have to be a Bigfoot.
It doesn't have to be a Bigfoot. It could be
Bigfoot.
You don't even have to be at a crossroads. I'll listen to it.
BigfootCrossroads.com.
Yeah, BigfootCrossroads.com.
You can follow me on Instagram
Twitter.
at Bigfoot Crossroads. Twitter, yeah, I need some Twitter followers. That's at BF Crossroads. Or you can just go to BigfootCrossroads.com where you can find links to all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. So
I like you.
Oh, man.
Matt, you have any shout outs to anybody?
I do. My good friend Early Bird.
Earl the Pearl?
Earl the Pearl.
Earl the Pearl.
I decided to have my own nickname for him.
Early Bird.
I like that.
Early Bird.
He was messaging me today, and
he's messaging me today too. That's weird.
Like he's messaging me today, and every word he said to me, like if he said, "Because I miss talking to you," I go, your face." That's what I'm saying.
He started off the conversation and he goes, hey, and I was like, hey. He goes, 2 things. It hurts me when Blair says that she doesn't like wrestling. Second thing, Jar Jar Binks was a Sith Lord. I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
Listen to this. This is what 8:35 a.m. That's why I call him Early Bird. This is what he wrote me today. He's talking about the documentary that you and I did the review for.
Okay.
He said, I just want you to know I absolutely love the new episode of the podcast. I can't wait till 12:25 to see part 2. I appreciate everything you do on the podcast as well as just being you.
Oh. Earl.
I said, sometimes I feel like you are Buddy the Elf and I am Deborah the Secretary. In other words, thank you. You just made my day.
What did he write me? He goes, oh, this is funny. He says, miss your face. Also miss talking to you. I go hug Jim Harbaugh. I go, just kidding, but really I'm not. And he cries, because I know you weren't.
Shout out to him too, because he was my first sub on Twitch.
Yeah, Earl's great.
And I was like, man, if you sub to my channel and you're the first one, I will buy you Judge Dredd on Blu-ray.
And you sure did.
And I did. I am a man of my word.
And then he writes to me, that's why you don't call me anymore. You want nothing to do with me. I go, hugging Jim Harbaugh would be good.
I also want to say hi to Logan Arts and Crafts, if he happens to be listening.
Logie.
Logan.
Good old Logie.
Yeah,
Haven't heard from Logan in a while.
He messaged me last week. I think he's going to the he's going to the Ring of Honor pay-per-view in, I think, Dallas.
Oh, nice. So he's going to be in town.
Yeah. So we should have dinner with him.
Yeah, we should show him around.
Logie.
You know, we'll know because he'll tweet or post and go, Texas, I'm in you. That's how I read it every time. Whenever he posts something like that.
Yeah.
Louisiana, I am in you. I'm like, what?
He says, we need to talk about something.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I don't like Jack in the Box rappers. He'll say something like that. Or
yeah, it's so weird. I hope he's enjoying his 24 case of Fago.
Fago. Only because he can.
Yeah, because he can. Yeah. It's
anyway, yeah, Logie, he's good.
Robert, do you have any shout outs?
Just shout out to Matt, Bigfoot Crossroads. He's top on my
what,
list.
What?
Mm-hmm. Terry Kegel, Ports Matters podcast. He's always good to us. He's always pushing
man.
us. He's always pushing us.
Great man. Love that guy.
In the shed was Wes Anderson. He's always pushing us too. So I really like him a lot too. So thank you, Wes. And I think that's about it.
Where do they come up with these names?
I don't know. They're from Alabama, so
many house references.
Well, shout out to Cassandra.
Yeah, Cassandra.
If she's still listening, thank you so much for sticking it with us. Shout out to Blair.
Yes.
Shout out to the boys.
The boys, yes.
Shout out to Matt.
Of course.
Love that man. And shout out to Henry for not hurting that little girl.
Yeah.
And Tony for keeping it real.
Tony
for keeping it real. Want to do a shout out to Don and Raven Gaynor. They sent me a picture today. Little Silas is wearing the Bigfoot Club shirt. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Appreciate you, getting that from me. So that's awesome. So he was actually like, I sent him a shirt. Well, they bought a shirt and then they go to the Monster Mart and take pictures with the Bigfoot Club. So
the world famous Monster Mart?
The world famous Monster Mart. Little Silas is wearing Bigfoot Club shirt in front of the Monster Mart.
Wearing it proud.
Yeah.
I love it. She actually sent me pictures too, the wife.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, she added me and we talked for a little bit and she was like, thank you so much for sending the pictures or sending the shirt. And I was like, yeah, anytime. I mean, it wasn't really me, but it was no problem.
You ought to know you bought it.
You ought to know you bought it. But yeah, no. He looked very excited.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Like, if you're happy with a shirt, wear it, man. That's your favorite shirt.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So I think I can do something with this show.
I think you could probably split it into 2 parts, probably.
Nah, I think we're good.
Really? Well,
yeah.
How many minutes?
We're 1:49, so we're probably like 10, 15 minutes.
2 hours, man.
They get cut out of this.
You said you weren't going to do 2 hours, and look at you, man.
I know.
Look at you.
I love talking to Matt. I'm sorry.
Matt,
I'm sorry.
Matt.
Sue me.
I don't want to sue you. Well,
I'm available most weekdays and nights and weekends for conversations for either one of you.
Yeah, you're going to probably be on our 100th episode. So I think we're on 94 or something right now. So 100 episodes, and we're about to hit 50,000 downloads. So I'm pretty excited about that. So
maybe we should do something together for New Year's Eve.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too.
Like, are you talking about in person?
I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. But if not in person, still, like, we could do something live or something.
Yeah, we should do something live.
We should. I will be in Oklahoma City.
We really?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be in Oklahoma City?
Yep. Me and Blair are driving up there, spend time with her family on that Christmas weekend.
Well, I'll be available, and maybe we can get like.
But if they're in Oklahoma City, maybe you could be in Tulsa.
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe I can try to convince Blair and be like, "Hey, let's go spend a day in Tulsa." It's like that's shouldn't even be a 3-hour drive.
Perfect.
Well, you guys could come to Tulsa, right?
Yep.
And then leave Bob here and go to Oklahoma City and do your thing in Oklahoma City and come back to Tulsa and pick him up.
That's a possibility too, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you guys could just come to Tulsa and fuck Oklahoma City. I mean,
I'm okay with
that's
that.
Just me, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine the boys want some gifts and stuff, but, whatever.
Yeah, we'll take them to Ron's Chili.
Yeah.
I had chili tonight.
Oh man, you know what sucks, Matt? I'll make this really quick. I can't have chili anymore. It doesn't process. Like my stomach does not.
Maybe you need Matt's chili.
I'm really hoping that's what it is.
I could make some chili that would be just fine.
Okay,
you're fine.
Okay, all right. Well,
you can eat it.
You convince me. But if I throw up, I'm sorry.
No, you won't.
Because throwing up chili is just not fun.
Acid reflux?
I don't know what it is. It's just
What's worse, throwing up chili or Oreos?
That's something you need to ask Ricardo. Ricardo's.
I know, but you cleaned it up.
Oh God, it was probably the Oreos. Ugh. It made me not want Oreos for a long time.
Nice,
because you
nice.
You can't pick it up off the rug. It's just so gross.
Yeah,
it took a while.
That's kind of cool.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't cool.
I wasn't there for that, so it was kind of cool.
That's why you guys need a dog.
Just eat it up. Yeah,
Dogs solve that problem.
Yeah, I would like to get a dog, but the way
the dog says, "Ooh, warm food."
Yeah,
yeah.
Ricardo's DNA. Whoa.
I remember one time, whenever Maddie was real little, whenever her and Kyle were both sleeping in this front bedroom with the bunk beds.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Leslie went in there and Maddie was like, "I threw up," and Leslie was like, "Where?" And she was like, "Over there on the floor," and there was nothing there. Just a couple of white little dogs licking their lips.
Yeah.
Chomsky's. Kimba Slice.
We called them the cleanup crew.
Just a couple little dogs licking their lips.
Yeah. Walking in with their hard hats. Their little hard hats. And
area clear. Oh, God.
Challenge accepted.
Oh, man.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, Lord.
That's a good way to end this show. I love that.
Yeah. If you have a
Kimba Slice.
Have a dog.
You got a dog named Kimba Slice.
Mm-hmm.
And Chomsky's.
Rip.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
My heart.
Kimba's in a box on the kitchen windowsill, though.
Is he?
Need a visit.
Yeah.
Need a visit.
Yeah. Matt, thanks so much for coming on, man. I really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
I know I asked you at the last minute, but...
Did you? I thought we discussed it a week ago.
Maybe. I don't know.
You were supposed to talk about the Blackwell ghost.
Yeah, but you didn't see it, so it's okay.
I mean, isn't it like a movie?
It's a
I don't understand what it is, but I thought it's fictional, though.
It is, but it's really good storytelling. Mm-hmm. It's if you watch it all, it's really, really good, and it's man. Mm-hmm. I mean, this guy should just be a writer. I mean, he's writing the story, but
he should be on our show. That's what I say.
Yeah, I've reached out to him, asked him to come on our show, but he hasn't responded yet. But it's okay.
He's big time.
There's
a Bigfoot podcast called the Bigfoot Influencers,
mm-hmm.
and they also wrote a book. I think maybe they wrote a book and then started a podcast. I think it's a husband and wife team, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't been around very long. They're on episode number 12.
Mm-hmm.
And for episode number 12, they got Les Stroud.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, how did you guys get...
Yeah, that's...
I mean, I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Les Stroud, just out the gate.
Yeah.
So maybe he's not that hard to get and nobody ever asks him.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about asking that hunter guy that was on Alaskan Killer Bigfoot.
I don't know. So I'm thinking maybe a Les Stroud thing because Alexander was saying that was the same area or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where he heard those chest slaps, right?
Matt? Yeah. Supposedly the guy that drove the boat to drop Les Stroud off is the same guy that drove the boat to drop the guy off that built the cabin.
That's right. You're so right.
You are so right.
So it'd be cool to have Les on and see if he'd confirm all that.
You should get him on your show, and then we can do part 2.
I don't know how to do that, though.
I think I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Well, yeah, me too, but that doesn't mean anything.
You can message him and be like, "Hey, man, Bigfoot Crossroads,
Bigfoot Club, be there." or be square.
Yeah.
I also want to get Post Malone.
Well,
okay.
That could be a little more difficult.
Well, yeah.
Well, actually, my coworker Caitlin Gonzalez, shout out to Caitlin. She went to school with him.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I can ask her, see if she still talks to him. So, but anyway, Matt, again, thanks for coming on.
Again, thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But everybody say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.